23rd and Union, the heart of the Central District. Like much of Seattle, it is no longer what it used to be.
Now it's different. You don't know nobody on the blocks now.
Earl Lancaster grew up in the CD. Through the window of his barbershop on Union, Earl's Cuts and Styles, he watches as it continues to change. He sees construction going on across the street. New apartments and businesses have gentrified the neighborhood, driving up property values and taxes.
A lot of families moved out the neighborhood and out south where they can afford.
It bothers Earl that most newcomers are unaware of the Central District's significant African-American history. Its memorable businesses such as Helen's Diner and owner Helen Coleman, whose soul food was so good that celebrities like comedian Richard Pryor had to have it when he came to town.
Smothered pork chops, greens, yams, macaroni and cheese, and her peach cobbler was the bomb.
But most troubling for longtime residents is that the African-American community, once a large majority in the Central District, has declined dramatically to a mere 14% of the population here.
Poof, there's no black community no more.
It is a great sense of loss.
The sense of community goes away, but also the sense of economic and political power goes away.
My name is Jeff Shulman. I'm a professor at the University of Washington's Foster School of Business. I host the Seattle Growth Podcast, and I produced and co-directed a documentary, On the Brink.
Through Voices from the Community, On the Brink looks at the changes in the Central District and the human impact.
The loss is different is that it's visible, it is painful. Time after time, talking to individuals in the Central District, these individuals felt ignored, kind of forgotten, and left behind in the changes.
Central District was the largest enclave of African Americans in the Pacific Northwest.
The film tells the rich history of the Central District. It examines how and why economic and racial discriminatory policies dating back to the 1930s made the CD the African American area of Seattle. And despite the barriers, how the community made its own way to contribute greatly to the city's social and cultural fabric.
On the Brink is about bringing attention to voices that are often not heard. I myself hadn't heard this rich history for 10 years after living in Seattle. And so we're just trying to help people understand why, while there's seeming progress, and there is a lot of progress for a lot of people here, this same progress is leading to a sense of trauma and loss to some of our community members.
Right now, I don't see us. So we need to be seen again in this area. And at this point, it's like financially, it's a struggle trying to get us back in here.
Many people say the train's left the station, and there's no African American community, so why should we care?
Jez Darnell Henton and Donald King are two vocal community members featured in the documentary. Both are committed to keeping the legacy of the CD and finding ways for African Americans to regain their presence.
I'd like to see create a situation where Black-owned businesses can come back again and flourish here in this area.
We should care because there's still African American institutions left, there's still homeowners left, there's still property owners left, and business owners left. We are not free of the racism that really caused that community to be built in the first place. So until we can be freed up from that, we're no better off being integrated or assimilated into the majority population.
What has happened in the Central District through Seattle's rapid growth and gentrification is not unique. It is happening in other parts of the country too. Jeff Shulman says for Seattle, it should be considered a cautionary tale of what could happen to other marginalized neighborhoods here.
As we're trying to build a shared future, we have to remember that we didn't have an equitable and shared past that has long-standing implications today.
Back at the barber shop, Earl Lancaster keeps an eye on his changing neighborhood. Like others, he had a chance to move south, but he decided to stay in the CD, to maintain his community, and to build its future.
Keep a heartbeat in the Central District for folks as myself.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.